Alright YouTube, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be reacting to the stadium creator that was just revealed for MLB The Show today. This is something that I think a lot of people in the community have been looking forward to, myself included, and just a little precursor, I've already seen this video once. I've seen it, I've shared some opinions with a friend of mine, but I wanted to make another YouTube video just putting my opinions out there for everyone to hear. All right, with that, let's get right into the video. Okay, so here we get our first look at a custom stadium, um, and I'm just gonna point out stuff that I see right away. So I could be, making random stuff up here, but like uh, this parking garage feels like a reused. Like there's a lot of reused assets here, which I'm not complaining. I'm just saying this is how they're gonna do it. Like this center field is like it, I believe it's literally the Tigers' batter's eye right here, from Comerica. So that's already an interesting. This jumbotron stand area here is something that I don't think we've seen even in like minor league stadiums. So that's interesting. But like, you definitely can see like this archway here is reused. I believe like this second deck is being reused. I have no idea about this UFO though. This is something that caught my eye right away. And then obviously this big building out in right center here. Um, that once again could be another reused asset from another stadium. But as I'm saying, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think any way to make these custom stadiums like as customizable as possible, and you can also see the different heights. Like this looks like Dodger Stadium corner outfield walls height, or like Fenway. Then it goes up all the way around, and then it arcs back up again. So like this is probably like 15, or this is probably like 10 feet probably over here for wall heights. So that's interesting. But we also get this here. I don't know what these icons up here mean. Maybe there's 68 assets, something like that. I have no idea. This is something that I actually am a little not confused, but I'm interested by. This 44K. I don't know what that could mean, and I would assume this means it's unplayable, unfinished so far is what I would assume. And then this over here is probably just like an asset mover, asset picker type deal, stuff like that. So this is our first glance. It's yeah. See, okay, here we go. On the very bottom, it says over 1,000 unique pieces to design your ballpark in your own way. I think that is just 1,000 different assets that they have from other stadiums. But all I'm saying is, if I can put PNC's golden bridges behind my stadium, bro, it's a wrap. Go back. Okay, hold up. We're gonna go back to this stadium. This. These are the kind of stadiums I want to see. Just like kind of a cluster of things going on here. More customization. You can never have too much. And I love the fact that you can put an arc, like the archway to the west, I believe is what it's actually called. I love that you can put that in anything. And you have the Ferris wheel back here. And then you're obviously gonna have stuff like this where people are trying to create like this gives me like an old school. It's like a mix between an old school and a new school type stadium here. Here's where we see our first uh, maybe not issue, because I think you can have a monster. I don't have anything against a monster, but I don't know if you guys can see here. This is is that 28 feet? This is 28 feet tall and 315 down the line, and it bumps out to 358. That's some unique dimensions. Well, also having 28-foot tall outfield fence, and I also feel bad for the people back here. This is something horrible. Those seats are horrible with their updated. If if they kept it at 28, you would literally be sitting front row paying nice premium, and you could just see down the line. Um, yeah, I don't have anything to say about this. I think this is good. Gives you the ability to customize each section of your wall. Okay, here we see the first change. That looks like a. Oh, it's. Oh, this is where it goes down. Okay, there was brick there. I was unable to stop it in time, but they changed the wall design from the generic green wall to a brick wall. This is awesome. I think if you could put and like customize it to really fit your team. Like if you're the I don't know, is this a lion? If you're the Lions, this would be sweet. Or like the goats, that'd be sweet. Or if you could put player, it'd be nice to see player like statues and stuff. Like player busts. Like can you imagine you just had big chunky Babe Ruth just standing there staring over your stadium? That'd be awesome. But to go back on the point I was saving for later is I'm excited to see what the community does with this option. Um, we're obviously gonna see a lot of minor league stadiums and college stadiums. I can only imagine because the same thing happens on 2K and Madden when you get the opportunity to customize teams or customize stadiums. People make college teams because there's not a college game out right now for baseball. So you know, I'm excited to see. Like, I believe it's Miami. They got a big old monster out in left field, and they got like apartment buildings out behind it, I believe. And that is the cool. It's one of the coolest stadiums. But it'd be such a vibe to play on these college stadiums. Plus, they're probably gonna run pretty well, especially if you keep your assets pretty. Here we see a very here we see a couple things actually. Here's the Coca-Cola bottle. It's not the Coca-Cola bottle in here, but it's the Coca-Cola bottle. Also, very unique to have lifeguard stations by a river. I'm assuming because there's a bridge right here, but that's not the point. Um, we see some very interesting stuff here. These dimensions. If you ever play with these dimensions in this game, you will get some nasty messages back from people. I'm letting you know right now that people don't want to play on disgusting dimensions like this. Don't be doing this. This is dumb. If you're doing this, please, like, I'll just take your PS5, man. Like, I obviously don't have one. I want one. I plan on getting one eventually when they're not impossible to get. But don't do this. Nobody wants to play in the stadium. People will send you friendly quits or just, you know, or they will beat you and then send you a strongly worded message. This is awesome. If you can buy in, like if you could, it'd be cool to name your team like the Aliens or like have your team name be from like like Saturn or something like that. Like one of the different planets that they give you an option for, and you got like floating space ships in the background. That's awesome. Plus, you could use that UFO from earlier on. I think you we're gonna see some crazy designs, some crazy themes, and I'm honestly excited to see what the community does. Cause let's be honest, with a very like rudimentary like logo builder, people build some crazy talented stuff, and I'm not gonna lie, I yoink them. I yoink them. But this is awesome too. If you can change the more customization that you give the players, even like something small like putting marble under your statue, that's sweet. I want to see if I can. I don't know if. See, these are sweet. Like this is something like that I hope people make is like big rocks in the background or like in the middle of a city. Um, I don't know how structurally sound this is, because I think there's nothing here, and I don't think they're like building. Oh no, they are building into the rock. I don't know if they're building into the rock behind them, but it does not look very strong. Another example of a great ballpark. Depending on the dimensions here, they look kind of deep. Like they look very deep to center field actually, but This is a great ballpark. Plus, if I'm gonna assume the more you keep these in the green, the better your stadium's gonna run. To be honest with you, and this is great. That's nothing's distracting. They got a nice batter's eye. Uh, just another. Please, nobody use that tiny wooden one, bro. Okay, here's where people were excited. Is this stadium right here? And I think it'd be so fun to play here against the computer and cheese them and get challenges done. You know what I mean? But there's several problems I have with it actually. It looks like it's not gonna save. You are getting very close here. Your yellow, this is in the yellow. This is literally at zero. The last ones we've seen are all at like 40,000, I believe. Uh, we'll just yeah, see this 41,000. Um, the other one was at 45 here also. This is at 86. I don't know what the numbers mean specifically, but this one probably runs like trash. I know it's cool. I know it's cool. Don't get me wrong. And this is like pretty much the Field of Dreams field, but you're not gonna want to play on it. Trust me. There are too many times where balls bounce off the wall that these would all be ground ruled up. Also, just now notice this. Another park over here. If we have an option to change behind us, it would be actually be sweet if people started making like not little league fields, but like little league in the sense that there's no people like basically in the stands. I think that'd be so funny. But yeah, look at this. This is actually beautiful if you can with the with how the game's gonna run. I would assume and like the different angles and stuff. This is don't listen to them. You cannot do. I mean, you can do whatever, but people will not like you. They joke about this. This is massive. This is a massive wall. I want people to know this. And as you can see, the plushy, the doll Tatis up here, which I would also buy. Is a fire suggestion by Shelfie to buy it, but this is a massive wall. This is something that scares me in the game. Is like, what's stopping somebody from building like? We'll talk about that in a second. Okay. Well, yeah. So like, let's see if there's let's see if there's that one clip. Okay. So stuff like this scares me, right? Um, like I'm afraid of people intentionally going out of their way and making like the triangle from Fenway, the death triangle as I call it. I'm scared of that. I think it could make some of these online games super cheesy and honestly like in a competitive setting they're not going to allow it to happen. And I know not very many people play the show competitively, but I mean, even at the top levels, you're not going to see custom stadiums unless you're running like one of these super like generic ones that they showed. That's those are about the only ones that I could like. This one right here. This is one like that could be played competitively, maybe depending on how well it runs. But I am kind of afraid. Like this, for example, scares me. Um, I think for obvious reasons. One, it's gonna run. It looks like it's gonna run like trash according to these stats up here. But not only that, it's like how do you're gonna have people making very janky stadiums with very like weird dimensions, very weird wall heights, and there's just not gonna be a way to control it, and that's scary. Also, I wanted to say that where was the like see 17 feet I know is massive, but like this is like the biggest I would want outfield fences to get. And like if you're going out of your way intentionally to make like janky wall heights, like people are not gonna have fun playing you. You're not gonna have fun playing because you're gonna like people don't realize like yeah if it's your home ballpark you might save a couple home runs by like having high walls, but you're gonna lose a couple home runs offensively too. Like the thing is you have to think about not only your opponent playing in your park, but you also have to hit in your park as well. Same with defending. Now, with that being said, if you have like a bunch of speedy power hitting outfielders, like if you got like Mantle, Larry Walker, and like Trout out there or whatever, like super end game, you might get away with bigger outfields and like these kind of default height or these kind of default wall heights. But other than that, I think people are really going to steer away from it. I think they didn't show us what the minimum height was, I believe, but like 315 is literally the Yankee Stadium. So like I think people are going to be doing this a lot, and this is like I believe by regulation the shortest you can get in a new MLB stadium now. So I think people are going to be doing 315 down the line a lot, especially because you get an extra janky home run or two, depending on how the game plays. If you can rip a lot of balls down the line, I think people could be running 315 down the line, and then getting like stupidly deep out in center. I hope not, but it's definitely possible. And like this also scares me, like 350 down the line. This is 396 in what looks like right center. Even 394 in right center. That's deep. That is a huge ballpark. Um, I really hope this person person is a good center fielder because they gotta be running all over the place. But you know, it'll be interesting to see how these play out. I'm very excited and very confident in San Diego Studios at least providing a usable like functioning creative stadium. Will we see like super in-depth customization? Probably not. Like, maybe you could change like you'll probably be able to change like the seat colors, like, what your second deck looks like, what your third deck looks like, what your batter's eye, stuff like that. But you're not going to be I don't know. I don't feel like you're going to be seeing a lot else from it, to be honest with you. And like the statues and stuff are cool, but it's if people have to choose between putting a statues around their stadium or keeping it at 60 FPS, they're gonna get rid of the statues. That's just how the game works. So yeah, we'll see. I'm super confident in how this works out, but you know, there was one other point I was gonna make. Oh yes, the last point I want to make here is talking about stadiums in MLB The Show 20. So in MLB The Show 20, people tended to play a lot on Ship It because there was not a lot of bugs on it, and MLB stadiums were very framey at times. And I have clips that I have saved where I was playing at Texas's new stadium, and the center fielder runs to go catch a ball against the wall, and it goes right through his glove and right through the wall, like not over the wall but through the wall, and it counted as a home run. Or there's clips of runners just running straight into the stands, like in foul territory, and they catch the ball, stuff like that. So I'll be interested to see. I think the competitive scene might use custom stadiums, but not in the way that San Diego Studio expects. I think instead of getting like default like kind of generic ones that I was showing you before, instead of getting like default generic ones, instead of getting default generic ones like this, you're gonna end up getting. I wouldn't be surprised if you end up seeing maybe like a custom background, and then they put like Coors Field dimensions, or they make like a unique background and then they put like Yankee Stadium's dimensions, stuff like that. Because I think people want to play in MLB stadiums, but MLB The Show has had a lot of problems, especially in online play when it comes to these MLB The Show stadiums. I also just realized here is the edit mode, and they have easy. I don't know what this means, but maybe we'll find out soon. But not the point. Um, I think that the competitive scene may use this in not the way San Diego Studios intended. They don't. I don't think people will be making. I think people will be making a lot of custom stadiums. Don't get me wrong, but I think a lot of people, like at the very top, will end up making MLB like MLB stadium dimensions and then just putting them into a custom background that they think is cool or something like that, or making like building up stands out in the outfield where there aren't before, stuff like that, making it like feel more like they designed it while keeping dimensions of uh not generic but you know the typical MLB stadiums that we're used to. So I'm excited. I think the community is gonna have a real good time with it. We're gonna see a lot of people doing a lot of crazy creative things, and maybe who knows? Maybe we'll see. Maybe we will see it being played competitively. I doubt it, but we never know. We honestly never know until the game comes out. I'm hoping the PS5 becomes more available so we can get the PS5 and Xbox Series X become more available so we can have more people experience this because this is what the community has wanted for a long time is a custom stadium builder, and we finally got it, and now it's kind of a lot of the community feels left out because they didn't put it on last gen, but I understand it. But I'm hoping they become more available so more people can experience this and get a chance to play around with it. All right. With that being said, don't be afraid to leave a like and subscribe. Okay, cut that part out. All right. With all that being said, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and if you've made it to this far in the video, you might as well click that like button and that subscribe button as well. It really helps me out, and if I ever make something you don't like, you can always just click unsubscribe. I mean, in the end, it's your choice. So yeah. Well, with that being said, that's that's all I have planned for today's video. So see ya.